Hello, hello. How are you guys doing tonight? Welcome in, welcome in. Got some Marvel Champions set up here. Um, how are you guys doing tonight? So, what we've got set up here is Scenario 4 of the Rise of Red Skull campaign. Last Monday we played through scenarios 1 through 3. We've got Zola set up here, and then Scenario 5 is Red Skull. So, we're going to see if we can't finish this thing out here. These last two guys are real jerks, so... So, we'll see what we can do. We are playing on expert difficulty, but not using the expert rules where you carry your life over scenario to scenario, just because I don't find that very fun. It just it adds weird gaminess stuff to it. So, without much further ado, let's read this cool comic book and then we'll get into it. Scenario number 4, Zola. Having defeated Taskmaster, you learn that Hydra has not only captured New York City, but all of the United States. It was the mad scientist Arnim Zola who built a machine to harness the power of the reality gem and tipped the balance of power in Hydra's favor. He has created a research station for himself on Ellis Island and turned the historic port into a nightmarish prison for his unfortunate test subjects. Taskmaster was ordered to bring the heroes he captured there for experimentation. In this upside-down America, you are the only hope the captives have to escape a horrible fate. So, wait, that's after. Right, okay. This was the comic before that, saying basically, we're gonna go get this guy. He's like a weird Krang cyborg guy. So, right. What do we got going on here? First off, he's got Retaliate 1. He starts with 28 life. And we start with the test subjects side scheme in play and also the Hydra Prison side scheme in play. Hydra Prison says it starts with both of our unique allies underneath it and starts with threat equal to their costs, basically. It's funny because we're using Ant-Man and Wasp, right? And their unique allies are each other. So it doesn't really matter to these particular people that we don't have those allies because we can't play them anyway, right? But if we fail to rescue them before the end of this scenario, then they're gone for the final scenario. So, also each villain phase, we're going to put a test counter here, and once there are 3 or more test counters, we discard cards from the encounter deck until we find a minion. So he's going to bring out a steady supply of minions. So our Aggression Wasp player is definitely going to be on minion patrol tonight. Philbo, welcome in. How are you doing tonight? Thanks for hanging out, as always. So yeah, we've got Ant-Man Justice. He's got the basic thwart upgrade, and he's also got adrenal stems that he can pop to heal, ready our hero and heal 5 damage. So, and these are all, that's a one-time use thing. And Wasp over here has the basic attack upgrade, which gives her +1 attack, and the laser cannon, which she can fire off once to do 5 damage to the villain and I think it's all minions. Each enemy engaged with you. So if things get bad here, we can pop those off and try to wipe the board a little bit, you know. We also have each started with an ultimate bioservant engaged with us. They start with toughness, and they get +1 attack for every tech upgrade that is attached to them. Currently, they don't have any, but there are plenty in the encounter deck. So let's see. Ooh, hot dogs. We had hot dogs a couple of nights ago. Man, we had Rubens tonight. Rubens and fries. And let me tell you something. They hit the spot. All right, so let's see what Ant-Man drew into. He's got White Tiger, his free thwarting, really good thwarting ally from the last scenario. That's nice. So I think we're gonna ditch Swarm Tactics, Giant Strength. What else? I think maybe we keep. So we need to have a mental resource. So maybe we keep Swarm Tactics so we can use White Tiger's thing when she comes out. So maybe we'll ditch that one. Draw 2 more cards, see what we get. We got Avengers Mansion and Quake. Not too shabby. All right. And let's see what Wasp drew into for her starting hand. Y'all let me know if the the camera looks all right. Sounds all right. I was having some weird camera issues earlier, but I think we got it straightened out. So we got Power of Aggression, Helicarrier, Hall of Heroes, Tigra. So we definitely want to get Helicarrier and Hall of Heroes out. So like maybe that's just all we do for our entire first turn. So maybe we'll ditch Relentless Assault. Your Mockingbird. All right. So we need the first player marker also. And away we go. So Ant-Man, what's he got going on these days? He's going to switch to his giant form, do 1 damage to this ultimate bioservant. And then he's going to play... actually, maybe he just kills that guy. What are we going to do there? I would really like to kill that ultimate bioservant, is the gist of it. Yeah, I mean, autofocus just generally is not great, but if I turn it off, then it's the focus on this camera is just weird. So if autofocus is really bad, I can mess around with it. So let me see. We're gonna get White Tiger out. We're gonna ditch Swarm Tactics, which lets us remove 3 threat from a scheme. Then we're gonna play Resize. Hold on. Then we're gonna play Skilled Investigator. Then we're gonna play Resize to flip down to Tiny Form, which removes 1 threat from a scheme, which kills this. And this says, when defeated, the first player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion. Reveal that minion. So, gonna get some kind of minion out here for Ant-Man. We got Zola's Mutate. When revealed, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck until a tech attachment is discarded. Attach that card to Zola's Mutate. All right. So he's got Neurological Implants. So now he's a 7 health, 3 scheme, 4 attack, which seems bad. Seems bad all around. So I think before Ant-Man flips back down, he's going to have attacked this ultimate bioservant for 3 when he was still in giant form. Then White Tiger will kill him. Oh, and Skilled Investigator lets us draw a card when we killed that side scheme. Draw Wrist Gauntlets. So, I guess the question is, do we get Wrist Gauntlets out or do we get Quake out? I think we're going to get our Wrist Gauntlets out. And we can't... Oh, he's tapped. Okay, we can't use our wrist gauntlets right now, but they will come in handy eventually, I'm sure. So I think that's all Ant-Man's got. Can't really do much about this mutate at the moment. So, what's Wasp got going on? So she's definitely going to play Hall of Heroes. And 2, 3. Well, hold on. Hold on. So she's going to pay 3 for this helicarrier. And then tap the helicarrier. Play... oh, yeah. Then she'll pay 1 to get Hall of Heroes out. Then she's going to flip to giant size. She's got 3 attack, which I think is just going to do 3 damage to this guy. Start trying to whittle that guy down. Because this mutate is bad news. And I think actually she'll do 2 damage to the mutate and take this tough off of this guy. Alright, so we're ready, everybody up. And Wasp has got biosynthetic wings, genius, team building exercise, pinpoint strike. Not too bad. And what's Ant-Man got going on? Moon Knight, Lay Down the Law, Jessica Jones, Army of Ants, Heroic Intuition. All right. Welcome in, viewers. How are y'all doing tonight? We're just starting in on Expert Zola here, trying to finish off our expert campaign. So, see how it goes. Got a couple of nasty minions out here, but it's kind of the name of the game with Zola. So first off, 2 threat on the main scheme. Then he attacks over here for base 2 damage. I think we'll just take it. 4 damage coming in, down to 8 health. And then this mutate attacks for 4 also, which that's getting a little spicy. I think we're going to have White Tiger block that one. A little too rich for my blood there. Then Zola's going to attack over here for base 2 damage. Deal 1 damage to each character you control. So 3 damage total. Down to 8 health. And then this Bioservant does 1 also, down to 7 health. Okay, get some encounter cards. Technological enhancements. Incite 1, so 1 threat on the main scheme. When revealed, place 1 test counter on the main scheme. That reminds me, we forgot to put a test counter on the main scheme. Okay. And Wasp gets Under Fire. Surge, when revealed, reveal the top card of the encounter deck. All right. 2 more cards coming her way. Red Dreams. You may flip to alter ego form. Okay, so we're going to flip to alter ego form. And we will exhaust to get rid of her obligation. And also, Concussive Blast. When revealed, deal 1 damage to each friendly character. Alright, so everyone takes a damage. 6 and 7. Seems great. Why not? Alright, First player comes over here. And let's see what Wasp's got going on. I think... Tiny form. Yeah, okay. So she's going to flip to tiny form. She's going to play these biosynthetic wings. Just, because. They let her block 1 damage when she's in tiny form. Then she's going to use her helicarrier to pay 2 for pinpoint strike. It says deal 7 damage to an enemy. If you're in tiny form, this attack deals 1 additional damage and gains overkill. So we're doing 8 damage. This guy's got 5 hit points left. So we kill him and do 3 damage to the villain, taking him down to 25. Also gets us a counter on Hall of Heroes. Get out of here, mutate. No one likes you. And that's all her cards, so that's all she's got. Let's see what Ant-Man's got going on. Army of Ants. I mean, we're definitely going to play Moon Knight. We're going to play Moon Knight. Unfortunately, we don't have a wild resource to trigger his ability. But, what are you going to do? Then we're going to... I need some minions. Yeah. Okay, so he's going to flip to giant form. Which does 1 damage to this guy. Then he's going to attack and kill this guy. And Moon Knight's going to thwart for 2. We're going to have played Army of Ants before switching up to giant form. And use that Army of Ants to do 1 damage to Zola. And I think that's going to be it. It's going to be it for them. Okay. So, refresh everything. Draw back up. Alright, so Wasp has got martial prowess, rapid growth, drop kick. Alright. And Ant-Man's got Electra, heroic intuition. Not too shabby. Alright. So we get 2 threat on the main scheme and a test counter. If there are 3 or more test counters here, discard cards from the top of the encounter deck. Until a minion is discarded, put that minion into play engaged with the first player. So, find us a minion here. Berserk Mutate comes out. Does 2 damage with Quick Strike. But we'll use our wings to block 1 of that. Keeps it 5. Things are getting a little spicy, like life-wise here. Okay. So, what's next? Zola attacks over here. I think... I think Moon Knight's going to block this one. So, 2 base damage. Place 1 test counter on the main scheme. So Moon Knight blocks 2 damage. And then this mutate attacks also. Wasp is going to block that one. And then Zola is going to attack over here. Base 2 damage. Ant-Man's going to block it. 4 damage coming in. He blocks 3 of it. So he takes 1 damage. Down to 6. Then we get some counter cards. Mind Ray. When revealed, Zola attacks you and you are stunned. Well, not great. 4 damage. Down to 1 health. So that's not great. And when revealed, exhaust your identity card. Already exhausted, but it does have Surge. Next one is the villain attacks you. All right. 2, 3, 4, 5 damage coming in. Youch. Youch, though. So we're both down to 1 health, which is just great. I mean, why wouldn't you want that? Ugh. Things got bad for us all of a sudden. This comes over here. Ant-Man's going to go ahead and pop his adrenal stems because, you know, things are going real bad for us here. Get up to 6 health. And ready our hero. Whoop. And he's going to play Heroic Intuition and get Elektra out. Elektra is going to kill this Berserk Mutate. And Ant-Man is going to... what's Ant-Man going to do? Ant-Man's going to flip down to Tiny Form, removing 1 threat from this. And then he's going to thwart for 4. I guess just thwarts this. Yep. That is it. Oh, and he's going to do 1 damage with his ants. This one is going... This one's going spicy for us here at the beginning. So, over to Wasp. Wasp doesn't have a lot of great stuff going on. So, she's going to pay 2 to play Martial Prowess. And then... So she's stunned, which is very annoying. She will tap these 2 to play Relentless Assault just to become unstunned. And I think then she just flips down. And we'll see if we don't have some mental icons to shuffle back in there. I think maybe we'll get Tigra. Using her girl ability, shuffle 2 cards with a mental icon back into our deck. Yeah, this Ugh. Oh, you know what? I definitely forgot to give us our bonus starting health. She gets +1 hit point from her thwart upgrade, and he gets +2 hit points. So we're marginally less worse off than we were, but still quite bad. Ready everything up. And draw some cards. see what we get. Ant-Man's got Pim Particles, Agent Coulson, Giant Strength. All right, not too bad. And Wasp has got 2, 3, 4, 5. Dropkick, Brawn, Hulk, Ally Wasp, Pim Particles, and Pinpoint Strike. So she found some allies, which, you know, that's nice. Okay. So, 2 threat on the main scheme. So how are you guys doing tonight out there? What you been up to? I got the new Bloodborne game in the mail, or not in the mail, sorry. I bought it from Lost Ark video games. If you're in the area, highly suggest them. They're awesome. It's fun. I'm going to play it on Friday, so if y'all want to see that, be sure to check it out on Friday. Zola's going to attack over here. Elektra's going to block it. 2 base damage. Shuffle Zola's Mutate into the encounter deck. Alright. So, kills Elektra. Whoop. I throw her card on the ground. Okay. I really need to get Ant-Man's helmet out. That would be very nice. What was I doing? Ant-Man schemes at Wasp for becoming tough and 2 threat. He's tough. Get some encounter cards. Master plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. Alright. I mean, again, we just don't care at all about this side scheme because we can't use those allies. So, you know. So, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's 12 threat on there currently. So, like, those guys are going to be gone out of our deck at the end of this. But also, like, we can't use them anyway, so, you know. And Wasp gets Neurological Implants. Attached to the minion with the most remaining hit points without another copy of Neurological Implants. If you cannot, this card gains Surge. All right. Another attachment, which gains Surge. Another attachment that gains Surge. Hey, there's a guy. Okay. So, this comes over here. Wasp definitely, like, has to heal. Like, she has to heal. After that, her options are more open. So she's going to flip to... Right. She's going to flip to giant form. Then she's going to pay this, which heals 2 damage when she's in giant form. And that gets Wasp ally out with 1 hit point. Then we're going to tap Martial Prowess and Helicarrier and pay 1. Hold on. Ooh. Pay this only Fist resources. Okay. All right, hold on. Let me rethink my plan. Okay. We're going to have played Hulk. Paid Hulk to get her out. Then we're going to pay Pim Particles to play Dropkick. Which does 4 damage to an enemy. Stuns it and draws a card. Okay, so that takes this tough off of here. And stuns Zola. We get to draw a card. Wasp Sting. If you're in giant form, deal a total of 4 damage divided among enemies as you choose. Alright. So, we're going to go ahead and play Wasp Sting. Does 4 damage divided as we choose. We're going to do 1 here. And 3 to Zola, taking him down to 20. We do take 1 retaliate. And I think that's all we can do with her. So, what's Ant-Man got going on? Draw a card. I think stun. Ant-Man's gonna pay 3 to get Agent Coulson out. Agent Coulson gets us a preparation into our hand. Presumably we've got one in hand. Yep. Or in our deck, rather. Then we're going to flip to, well, before we flip, we're going to use Army of Ants to do 1 damage to, hold on. We're going to flip and do 1 damage to, we're going to use Army of Ants to do 1 damage to this Bioservant. Then we're going to flip to Giant Size, which does 1 damage to Zola. And we're going to pay 2 to play Counterintelligence. And that heals us for 2 because we used Pim Particles in giant form. Coulson's going to thwart for 2. Let me see. What else? Oh yeah, and then Ant-Man kills this Bioservant. Get out of here, Bioservant. We're going to get her Hall of Heroes going eventually, but, you know, you got to play the cards that you are dealt. So, we're going to ready everybody up. Draw some cards. Wasp drew. Red Room Training. Gives her piercing. There's a lot of tough going around, so that might be good. Drew Tigra, which I'm a fan of. Pim Particles. Alright, not too bad. And what's Ant-Man got going on? Pim Particles, Army of Ants, Lay Down the Law, and Energy. Well, a lot of resources, not a lot to spend them on, but that's fine. I'm sure we can find something. Okay. He's going to draw his helmet eventually. It's going to be awesome. All right, so 2 threat on the main scheme. And our 3rd test counter, which gets a Zola's Mutate for Wasp. But since it's put into play, you don't do its when revealed action, so he doesn't get a free... what am I trying to say? he doesn't get a free tech upgrade. So that's something at least. Okay, so Zola attacks but just becomes unstunned. Zola's mutate attacks. I think we'll have... Will we have Wasp block that? Maybe we just take 2. Tiny, tiny, tiny. We'll have Wasp block it, I guess. Nah, that's fine. She'll just take 2 damage. Then Zola attacks over here. Base 2 damage. Wasp is going to block this one. 3 damage. So Wasp goes away. Then we get some counter cards. Exosuit. Attached to the villain. +1/+1. Great. And the villain attacks you. I mean, why you gotta be like that? Coulson's gonna block this one. So 3 damage baseline. 5 damage coming in. Good job, Coulson. You're a true hero. Sewer Dog. How are you doing, man? What's the good word? We got this is the 4th scenario, the Zola scenario in the Rise of Red Skull campaign. Red Skull is next after this, assuming we beat Zola. Zola is a real jerk, so, you know. We'll say that's an if, but, you know. Yeah. Especially played standalone, Zola and Red Skull are like right up there with the very hardest stuff in this game. He's brutal. All right, so I believe that is it, right? Yeah, we already did encounter cards. So this comes over here, and let's see what we got. Lay down the law. Well, we don't have any more. Well, Ammon doesn't have any allies, which is a shame. But he's going to flip down to Tiny Form, remove 1 threat from this. And pay 1 to play Lay Down the Law, which removes the rest of the threat from that and lets us draw a card. Okay. So we drew Nick Fury, which I think we're going to have Helicarrier, Wasp's Helicarrier. Pay 3, get Nick Fury into play. I mean, you love to see Nick Fury out. So the question is, do we draw 3 cards or deal 4 damage to an enemy? Yeah, he's going to deal 4 damage to this guy. And then he's going to attack for 2, down to 17. Gets a retaliate damage and 1 consequential damage. That's what I was trying to say. And I think before Ant-Man flipped down, he's going to have attacked. Yeah, he's going to have attacked for 3. Take him down to 14. 1 consequential damage. We also have what's called Army of Ants. Do 1 more damage. Gotta love those ants. Alright, so what's Wasp got going on? Wasp Sting. Well, first off, she's going to attack. Deal 1 damage here and kill this guy. Get a counter on Hall of Heroes. And then do 2 damage to Zola, taking 1 retaliate damage. I definitely failed to notice that she was quite so low on hit points. I think she's gonna pay 2 to get red room training out, just because it's there, I guess. And then pay. Actually, she's not gonna do that. Having noticed that I need to get Tiger out, so we're gonna pay 3 to get Tiger out here, and heal ourselves for 2 because of Pim particles. Then we're gonna use Martial Prowess to play Wasp Sting, deal 4 damage. Take him down to 7. Take 1 retaliate damage. And then we're going to flip down to regular alter ego form. Shuffle a couple of cards back into our deck here. I think it's going to be Genius and Wasp Ally. Oh, I guess it would help if I shuffled them in facing the right direction. And Tiger is also going to have attacked, take him down to 5. Okay, so ready everybody up. Draw some cards. Wasp drew into Valkyrie, Giant Help, Pinpoint Strike, Spider Girl, Wasp Ally, and Dropkick. Not too shabby. Sewer Dog, what's the good word, man? What you been up to? I got the new Bloodborne game from Simon the other day. If you're free Friday, I'm gonna be streaming it. It's really neat. So check it out if you get a chance. All right, so we drew his helmet. Finally. Not too bad. All right, so 2 threat on the main scheme, 1 test counter. Sewer Dog, you ever play the video game Bloodborne? It's probably one of my all-time favorite games. It's really cool. Okay. Zola attacks over here. Nick Fury's going to block it. Base 3 damage. Place 1 test counter on the main scheme. For each test counter on the main scheme, Zola gets plus 1 for this activation. So Nick Fury still blocks it. No worries, man. Just always glad to see you, but don't feel obligated. Yeah, no, I get that. They can definitely be super frustrating to play. Souls likes. But once you get into them, personally, I find them very, very rewarding. All right, Zola's going to scheme over here. Base 3, 4. Up to 7 out of 12 on the main scheme. Excuse me. Some counter cards. Caught off guard. When revealed, discard an upgrade or support you control. Well, I I think we're going to discard Skilled Investigator just because, I mean, not many side schemes have been coming out. And it's free, so like it doesn't super matter. Okay, rearrange these, put the ones that we actually use on top. And over here, we get test subjects. Hey, speaking of side schemes that I literally just said we hadn't seen any, there's one. Hey, Eclectic Camel, welcome in. How are you doing? We're about down to the end of phase 1, or phase, the first phase of Expert Zola here on our run through the Expert campaign with Wasp and Ant-Man. So welcome in. How are you doing tonight? What you got going on? Okay. Right, side. Okay, so this comes over here. Wasp definitely has to heal. And then, what else is she doing? I think we're going to pay 2. No. Doesn't make sense to pay 2, because this guy's got Retaliate. So even if Wasp had 2 hit points, she would just still only get to do one thing and then die, you know? Yeah, Sewer Dog, there's two steps. So we're playing Expert, so it's level 2 and level 3. So basically his stats go up a little bit, and he's got, you know, a bunch more life once you trigger the second phase. All right, so what do we got? So we're definitely playing, nope. We're definitely playing Wasp with 1 hit point. After that, I guess the question is, do we drop kick to stun? Well, okay. So first off, we're going to flip to giant form. Or, you know, we'll flip to tiny form. I guess that makes more sense at the moment, since we're not activating to attack anyway. Then, so we can either do 8 damage or 4 damage and a stun. Oh, it actually won't be a stun because we don't have a fist. So I guess that makes it a significantly easier choice. First off, we're going to use those and then pay 1. We'll pay a drop kick to play Pinpoint Strike. Deals 8 damage, so we do some extra damage, but what are you going to do? Alright, so Zola flips to stage 3. It says, when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. So what's the least bad minion? Probably this Ultimate Bioservant. Even though he's definitely, like, not great. So we got a couple of those guys showing up. And, yeah. That's all we got, basically. So, over to Ant-Man. Dropkick is great, man. I love Dropkick. But I love, Stun is extremely good, in my personal opinion. Alright, so we're going to get Ironheart out for 2. Lets us draw a card. We're going to use Ironheart and Army of Ants to ping these 2 tough off of here. Oh, also, he's got 32 life. So that's 1 damage on Ironheart. And what else we got? Did I? I would have sworn that I drew his... Wow, okay. Well, I drew his helmet and forgot about it. Played it to do something else, so... Oh well. All right, so what else are we going to do, I guess, is the question. We're going to thwart for 4 and kill this. First player discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until they discard a minion. Reveal that minion. Ugh. Okay, well, there's only 4 cards left. Maybe there just won't be a minion. Oh, there's a minion. Oh, well. And sadly, he's got Quick Strike, so we took a gamble and it didn't work out for us. Then got some stuff going on there. Yeah. Okay. Then what? I don't love the things that are happening on the board currently. I don't love it. I think we're going to just spend... I don't know if it's worth... I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth it. We're going to spend 2, get team building exercise out. And I think that is it. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Yep. So this turn's gonna hurt. We got a lot of minions out here. But you know, that's what our allies are for. Collected Camel, have you had a chance to play as Wasp yet? Or Ant-Man, I guess. I think the last time we talked, maybe Ant-Man you hadn't gotten yet or something. I'm not 100% sure. All right. Yeah, this one is gonna hurt, definitely. 2, 3, 4. Reshuffling Ant-Man's deck. So he's going to get an encounter card. Because things weren't looking dicey enough at the moment. I guess the question is, do we keep Lay Down the Law or not? We probably keep it. Try to keep this from popping off. Alright, so was your Giant Stomp resize? Yeah. Not too shabby. Okay. And Wasp. Yeah. Okay. Wow, Wasp drew 3 skilled strikes. So that's going to be incredibly useful for clearing off all of these minions, actually, because that's +6, and she can divide it however she wants between targets when she's in giant form. So, like, super good. You know, assuming we don't, like, just get wrecked right now. So, 2 threat on the main scheme. Up to 8 out of 12. We get a, what am I trying to say? Get a test counter, which discards cards from the top of the encounter deck until a minion is discarded. There's only 2. Come on, no minions. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Okay, there was a Zola's mutate. So, Wasp is in a bad situation this particular turn. Yeah, real bad. I mean, what were the odds? Come on. Couldn't there just not have been one? Work with me here, Zola. So we get an acceleration token. You know what? We might actually pop off our laser cannon on our next turn because, like, this is just it's a mess. It's a whole mess. Okay. Before we get to that, Zola is going to attack over here. Wasp is going to block it. So 3 base damage coming in, 5 base damage, or 5 total damage. So Wasp gets killed. We're going to block 1 with our biosynthetic wings, and then 4 more damage coming in. So we'll block 2 of it with Tigra, and then take 2. Down to 3. Then Zola's going to attack over here. Ironheart's going to block it. Base 3, 4. Ironheart. We hardly knew you. Oh, speaking of which, we get a encounter card for reshuffling Ant-Man's deck there. And then he takes 1 damage from Ultimate Bioservant. Then get some encounter cards. Technological enhancements. Insight 1. Put 1 test counter on the main scheme. Alright. Couple over here. Vibranium armor. Attached to the villain. After the villain takes damage, give it a tough status card. This costs 2 fists to get rid of that. Alright. And what do you know? Another Ultimate Bioservant, because why not? Why not? This comes over here. And we've got some work. We've got some work to do here. All right. Two, 3. Like, I really would love to play this, play Ant-Man's helmet. Actually, we can do that. We're going to use Helicarrier and pay 2 to get Ant-Man's helmet out. Then we're going to flip to Giant Form, which does 1 damage, takes this tough off. We're going to attack for 3 on one of these guys. And we're going to play Moon Knight and Elektra. Moon Knight's going to thwart for 2, I guess. And Elektra's going to attack for 3. Attack that guy. And before he flipped up, he's going to use his army of ants to do 1 more damage. Kill one of those guys. Oof. Yeah, we got some garbage laid on us on this one. Okay, so it's 1 consequential each on those guys. Also, we heal 2 when we flip up. So we're at 10. And what's Wasp got going on? First off, she's going to flip to... hold on. Yeah, first off, she's going to pop her laser cannon because, like, enough's enough here. That kills all three of these guys. Gets three counters on Hall of Heroes. Oof. Then... Oh, and this says, after Wasp or an event you play defeats a minion or side scheme, deal 1 damage to the villain. I don't... Yeah, okay, so it does 1 damage. Then he gets tough. The next one takes off takes off the tough, and then it does 1 more damage. And he becomes tough again. Ugh. Okay. We're going to spend 2 to get rid of this vibranium armor. And you know what? We're actually going to do that before using our laser cannon, because if we had thought about it for a second, that's what we would have done. Then we're going to what's she gonna do? Thwart for 1. Yeah, and play no, she's not gonna do that. Okay, then she's gonna play Spider Girl. Spider Girl comes out, stun and confuse a minion. Very confusing for this Bioservant. And she's going to flip down to Nade Van Dyne, Alter Ego. Shuffle a couple of cards back in. I think it's going to be Pinpoint Strike and probably Genius, if we have that in our discard pile, which we might not, actually. So what else is it going to be? Yeah, I mean, maybe it's just 2 Pinpoint Strikes. So next turn, she's going to be able to fire off... Spider Girl's going to kill this Ultimate Bioservant also, just because. Because she's going to block an attack anyway, so doesn't matter if she's down to 1. Okay, so maybe we'll get double Pinpoint Strikes going. Because we're going to be able to draw 3 cards with Hall of Heroes next turn. So I think maybe we've turned the corner on this, but we'll see. See how it goes. Alright, so first off, we get 3 threat on the main scheme. We're going to pop Counterintelligence to stop it from going on there, because we would like this to not trigger. And he's about to scheme over here, so... we're working on it. We fired off our laser cannon and killed a whole bunch of dudes, which felt pretty good. Zola's going to attack over here. Spider Girl's going to block it. He does 3... 4, 5, 6 damage. And... then, okay, so this doesn't go off until next time, even though there are 3 counters on it now. Ready everything up before we go any further. All right, got some business we can attend to here on the next turn. So, attacked over there. He's going to scheme over here. Base scheme of 4. Ooh, 5, 6, 7. Well, the 3 didn't help after all, so This pops. Nothing we can do about it. This says, when revealed, each player searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a minion and reveals it. Shuffle the encounter deck. Alright, well, starts with 2 threat on it. And it's got a threshold of 16 for us to lose due to threat. So let me find a couple of ultimate bioservants. Everyone loves these ultimate bioservants. It's not like we just got rid of all of them or anything. Okay. Then we get some counter cards. Exhaust your identity and surge. Well, that's a shame. And also, the villain attacks you. Well, that's also a shame. Why would you do such a thing? Alright, Moon Knight's going to block this one. Moon Knight blocks 4 damage. Great job, Moon Knight. And this happens also. In Site 1, place 1 test counter on the main scheme. Boy, we got test counters coming out the wazoo here. Also, as in Site 1, put a threat on there. Okay. All right. This comes over here. We're going to exhaust Hall of Heroes, spend 3 glory counters, draw 3 cards. All right, so we got all types of stuff happening here. The first thing we're gonna do, is flip up to. The first thing we're gonna do is heal for 3 up to 6. That's step 1. It's an important step 1. Does make me sad, but you know, maybe we try to not die. So now we flip up, and we're actually going to flip up to tiny form, and we're going to tap Helicarrier to play Swarm Tactics to switch to Giant Form and ready our hero. Then we're going to attack for, let me see if this still works. We're going to put Combat Training into play and attack for 4. So that's 1, 2. And then 2 to the villain, taking 1 retaliate damage. Okay. That's not great. Alright, let me actually rethink that whole thing. So we're in Alter Ego. These guys are tough. We got 6. This guy's got 29. Because the gist of the plan is we need these pinpoint strikes have overkill if you're in tiny form, right? So I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of this tough before playing the 2 pinpoint strikes. Not sure if we can actually do it though. What's Ant-Man got? Anything immediately obvious? Not really. Okay, well, we're just going to have to do what we can do. We're going to play Swarm Tactics. First off, we're going to flip up to Giant Form. Then we're going to play Swarm Tactics. using our helicarrier to ready and flip to tiny form. We're going to attack, take that tough off. Then use martial prowess and genius to play pinpoint strike, dealing 8 damage to this guy. So killing him, getting us a counter, and doing 4 damage to the villain. And then, I mean, I guess we just play combat training because it's there. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4. A lot of ways we could go here. But I think the way we're going to go is just play, get combat training out, pay 3 to play pinpoint strike, and deal 8 damage to the villain. Down to 17. Take 1, retaliate. Seems worth it. Now over to Ant-Man. Ant-Man is going to flip down to tiny form, remove 1 threat from a scheme, and play clear the area to remove 2 threat from a scheme, and it is the last 2, so it lets him draw a card. Do Giant Stomp. Oh, and he gets to draw a card when he flips down also. So, yeah. Elektra is going to attack, taking this tough off. And then what? Actually, we're gonna Army of Ants to take that tough off, and then Elektra's gonna do 3 damage to him. Seems better. Huh. So what else do we do? Like, I'd like to have Giant Stomp for next turn. But getting an ally out to blocks also seems good, because, like, she's pretty hurting. So, I guess we'll just do that. Pay 3. Draw a card, and get Jessica Jones out. Jessica Jones is going to attack for 2. Kill this guy. And that's it. So, alright. We're reshuffling Wasp's deck, so she gets a encounter card. Ready everything up here in a second. And we need to do 17 damage to this guy. Hopefully on this next turn, but we'll see what we draw into. Oh, also, since I forgot that I can do this, I'm going to tap the wings to block one of those retaliate damage that we took on that last turn. Probably could have done that a couple more times here or there, but haven't played Wasp all that many times, so not great at remembering that kind of thing. Alright. So, I would like to see big attack numbers here. Personally. Let's see what we got. White Tiger, Nick Fury. Alright. can probably make something there work. And pinpoint strike, skilled strike. Not too bad. We might be able to get there. Okay, so excuse me. 3 threat on the main scheme. 1 test counter. We lose 3 test counters and find some sort of a minion. Well, hey, there's a minion. It's got quick strike, which you don't love that. So Zola attacks over here. We gotta block everything here because she's only got 4 life. So Jessica Jones is gonna block this one. 3 base damage coming in. 4, 5, 6. Jessica Jones, you're a true hero. Then this mutate attacks. We're going to use the wings to block 1, take 1 damage. Zola attacks over here. Electra. Is Electra going to block this one? I think we're just going to take this one to the face. So 3 damage, 4, 5 damage coming in. So he's down to 5. Because we can get 3 damage out of Electra, and we're trying to just kill him on this next turn, is the current plan. So we get some counter cards. Let's see what we get. Caught off guard. Discard and upgrade or support you control. But I guess we'll discard our yeah, we'll discard our wings. Which is a shame, but you know. Then the villain and each minion engaged with you attacks you. Alright, well, that sucks. Berserk Mutate attacks for 2. Zola attacks. Electra is going to block this one because, you know, maybe we don't let Wasp die. 5 damage coming in. Great job, Electra. And another Ultimate Bioservant. Okay, this comes over here. And let's see if we can do a ton of damage. What do you say? I mean, I think the answer is just... So, Army Advance does 1. We flip up to Giant Size, which does 1. We pay 4 to get Nick Fury out. Oh, also our helmet heals us for 2. When Nick Fury comes out, he does 4 damage, down to 11. He attacks for 2 more, down to 9. Takes 2 damage. Ant-Man attacks for 3, down to 6. Takes a retaliate damage. Whoop. Over to Wasp, who needs to do 6 damage. She's going to flip up to Giant Form. She's going to attack for 2, 3, 4. Spend Skilled Strike. That is 6. Killing the dude. And before she does that, she will also spend 3 to play Pinpoint Strike and kill this mutate, because I feel like maybe there's something about being engaged with minions at the end of this, but I don't 100% remember. And we did it. Took him out. Yeah, the both of these guys have the triple form cards, which is a lot of fun. It's just a really fun gimmick. I love it. So you got your tiny form standing on the barrel of a gun or a keyboard, and then you flip out to giant form, filling up an entire stadium. It's just fun. It's fun stuff. So I've actually got Sewer Dog. I've got 2 of these. sleeves made specifically for that. So it goes in there and you slide this back and forth, and then it flips over to be the giant form. It's just on stream. It's just weird because it makes it hard to see the actual card in there, and it just gets a little weird. So I haven't played around with it to try to get the lighting right. But I do have sleeves for them. I think they were originally made for the Transformers TCG. Has a bunch of those triple sided cards for like Transformers that like form together into other Transformers or something. I don't know, but they work for this also. Okay, so we did the thing. We killed Zola. So let's see what's going on here. Victory. Each player engaged with an enemy records that they are engaged with an enemy in the campaign log. All right, so we're engaged with one enemy. If the Hydra prison side scheme is still in play, your allies underneath it cannot be included in any deck for the remainder of the campaign. So we lose our unique allies for the rest of the campaign. But again, with these two heroes, you can't play them anyway, so whatever. Boo. Maybe I would have gotten rid of it anyway, because if you got rid of that side scheme, you get to upgrade your basic upgrade to a improved upgrade. So it says it's the same stats, but it says after you defeat a side scheme, tap this to draw a card. That's a shame, but I forgot about that, so oh well. All right, where's the stone, Zola? The Red Skull has it, Mynheer, in his fortress. What was once your precious White House now belongs to the Red Skull. What progress have you made toward my ultimate design? We will soon be able to use the stone to conquer the world, Herr Skull. Supreme Leader, we are under attack! Avengers, assemble! Keep working. I will deal with the Avengers. That's my Red Skull voice. It's really good. I put a lot of work into it. All right, scenario number 5. You have liberated Zola's island and disarmed the Mad Doctor, but the reality gem still eludes you. You learn from Zola that the gem resides with the true mastermind behind Hydra's ascendancy, the brilliant and nefarious Red Skull. The villain has taken up residence in Washington, D.C., and transformed the White House into his personal fortress. But Red Skull's ambition for conquest does not end with the USA. He plans to bind every nation under Hydra rule with the power of the reality gem. His scientists work around the clock to make the necessary modifications to Zola's machine. Once completed, Red Skull will use the reality gem to conquer the whole world. If that happens, nobody will be safe from the types of atrocities you witnessed in Zola's labs. You cannot allow this to happen. You must defeat Red Skull and use the reality gem to set things right again. All right, so I am going to take a quick break, grab a water, and set up the Red Skull campaign. And then we're going to take the fight to the Red Skull. So, if y'all give me a couple minutes, I will be right back. Alright, so we are almost set back up. Figured we tune back in while we finish the last steps here. So yeah, it's funny, Zola and Red Skull both are, in my opinion, significantly harder outside of the campaign. Like inside the campaign, you've got your upgrades, and you've got the free allies from the Taskmaster scenario. Outside of it, and especially if you put in like some harder modular sets than the recommended ones, like Red Skull and Zola are both just brutally hard. Alright, that's there. Got the red house. Set up our side scheme deck here. And he starts with 32 health. 6 threat on the red house. Alright, so we're pretty much set up. I'll look in the book. There's something like the delay counters from Absorbing Man and being engaged with that one enemy minion at the end of Zola is going to do something to us here. But we're more or less set up. Oh, you know what? We do need one more copy of Skilled Investigator to throw into this Ant-Man deck, because and you know what, we're gonna throw 3 followeds in there too. What do we want to take out to get followed in there? Do we care about taking anything out? Maybe we just roll with a 44 card deck. Madness. I don't usually like going over 40, but Followed and Skilled Investigator are like so good in this scenario that I'm just going to throw them in there and roll with it. You know, it'll probably be fine. Ant-Man draws a bunch of extra cards, so I'm not too worried about throwing a couple extra cards in his deck. Even though I usually don't like going over 40, you know? And we popped our 2 single-use upgrades already. So we're coming into this. I mean, we've still got our attack and thwart upgrades, so, you know. It'll be fine. It'll be fine, he said, totally confidently. All right. Finish shuffling up here. Yeah, Sewer Dog. This is I love this game. It's super fun. You got to be in for like buying all the stuff for it, you know. They release a pack every month. I mean, it's been messed up. The release schedule's been a little messed up with COVID and stuff, but you know, once you buying the packs like opens up the deck building space a lot, and you know, you get new heroes all the time and stuff. It's really fun. This and Aeon's End are my two favorite solo games, and they're pretty similar, like headspace wise. But this one has pre-game deck construction, and Aeon's End is like a deck builder, like Dominion. Yeah, exactly. All right, so, but yeah, if so one, I don't usually love games that have deck construction in them, just because I'm not like, it's not something that I've done really ever before, you know. But the aspect system in this, where you're only building from a certain chunk of the card pool, really kind of focuses enough to just make it fun instead of kind of overwhelming. You know what I mean? All right, so let's see. Place X threat counters on the main scheme, where X is the number of delay counters. So we had 5 delay counters, so we get 5 threat. And each player who is engaged with an enemy deals themselves an encounter card. All right, so we get an encounter card for Ant-Man. Red Skull also says, when revealed, deal each player an encounter card. So 3 encounter cards seems totally fine. Draw our starting hands. See what we got. Ironheart. I think we ditch these 3. See if we can draw our helmet. We failed to draw our helmet. Yep. Okay. Eventually, one day, I'm going to draw Ant-Man's helmet like in the opening hand, and it's going to be awesome. It's not generally how that has gone for me so far. All right, so we're going to keep Avengers Mansion, definitely. And I think we're going to ditch these 2 and draw 2 more, because that'll let us play Avengers Mansion. Probably play Swarms. Oh, we don't really care about Swarm Tactics. Yeah, draw 3 more. All right, well, we got a ton of resources and not a ton to spend it on. Okay. Yeah, eventually I'm going to draw Ant-Man's helmet in his opening hand, and it's going to be awesome. All right, so let's talk about Red Skull for a second. He's got this deck of side schemes, and each villain phase, he's going to flip a side scheme off of here. We start with the red house that says Red Skull cannot take damage. So we got to get rid of this before we can hurt Red Skull. Red Skull's attack is also 1 plus however many side schemes he has in play. So you got to really stay on top of the side schemes. So let us just get into it. What do you say? First off, we're going to flip to Tiny Form. That's not Tiny Form. Tiny Form. We're going to remove a threat from a scheme. We're going to pay 2 to get Ironheart out, which lets us draw a card. We drew Nick Fury. Then we're going to pay 1 to play Army of Ants. And playing Pim Particles in Tiny Form lets us draw a card. Got Hive Mind. All right. We're going to thwart for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take that down to 1. And then... Then we don't have a lot of great options left for the things that we drew, basically. Hero action, if you're in tiny form, deal 1 damage to an enemy. So we can't deal a damage to him because, you know, can't hurt him right now. So I guess we're going to pay 2 to play Hive Mind, which is going to remove 3 threat from a scheme. If that's the case, Ironheart's going to have thwarted for 1 off of this instead. And then Hive Mind gets rid of the red house. All right. And then Army of Ants punches for 1. Okay. Yeah, Ant-Man, especially like once you get his helmet and stuff out, he draws cards left, right, and center. You know, if I ever draw his helmet in a timely fashion. All right, so we're going to pay 4 to get Avengers Mansion out. Tap that to draw a card. We got Wasp. We're going to flip to Giant form. And attack for 3 plus 2. So attack for 5. Down to 26. And then, so the question is, I think we're going to get Wasp out here. Pay 2 of those. She's got 2 hit points. She's going to attack for 3. Taking 1. Down to 23. And it feels good to not take retaliate damage every time anyone does anything. So we're going to ready everybody up and get approximately 1 million encounter cards. Ant-Man still just totally refuses to ever draw his helmet early in the game. That's fine. Who needs it? Me. I'm the one who needs it. All right, so we got martial prowess and team building exercise, which is nice. Wasp is resource starved, so it's nice to get resource generating things, you know. So we get 2 threat on the main scheme, putting it up to 6 out of 16. Then Red Skull is going to attack over here. Ironheart's going to block. Oh, before that, we get a side scheme. Censor the Past. Starts with 6 threat. Says, excuse me. When defeated, each player chooses up to 3 cards in their discard pile and shuffles them into their deck. Okay. He attacks for a 2 plus 2, so 4 damage coming in. Way to go, Ironheart. Right. What am I doing? Then he attacks over here. Wasp is going to block this one. 2 damage plus 2, so 4 damage. Way to go, Wasp. Then we get some more encounter cards. 2 wasn't enough. Obviously not. So we get Hydra Flame Soldier, another Hydra Flame Soldier, and Assault. Okay, so this time the villain attacks us. So base 2 damage coming in, 4 damage coming in, taking Ant-Man down to 10. These 2 Flame Soldiers say if they make an undefended attack against you, you have to discard a support you control. So those guys suck, basically, is the gist of it. And then Wasp Gets a Hydra regular. Says Insight 1. And Spreading Lies. Place 2 threat on each scheme in play. Well, great. Why not? 2 threat on there, 2 threat on here. Seems totally fine. Why wouldn't you want that? Okay. This comes over here. And what's Wasp got? She's got Pinpoint Strike. Okay. So what can she... So first off, she's going to draw a card. Definitely. Giant Help. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Or 4 threat if you're in giant form. Alright. I think she's going to pay 2 to play Martial Prowess. And then tap Martial Prowess and spend these to play Pinpoint Strike. Before she does that, she's going to attack for 3, kill this Hydra regular, and deal 1 damage to a Flame Soldier. And then she's going to flip down to Tiny Form. That's not Tiny Form. There we go. And play this. Does 8 damage and has Overkill. So we're going to kill this guy and do 4 damage to Red Skull, taking him down to 19. Coming over to Wasp. I mean, Ant-Man, rather. What's Ant-Man got going on? Well, we don't have any allies, which is a shame. But he is going to flip to Giant Form, deal 1 damage. Before flipping a giant form, he's going to use Army of Ants to deal 1 damage there. Then he's going to spend 1, 2, 3. To play Giant Stomp, which deals 1 damage to each minion and 8 damage to an enemy. So we kill this Flame Soldier and deal 8 damage to Red Skull, taking him down to 11. Then we're going to play Resize to flip down to Tiny Form, removing 1 threat from something. We're going to Thwart for 4. And he draws a card, drew his Wrist Gauntlets. Okay. Untap everybody. Draw some cards. We drew Valkyrie, Rapid Growth, Genius, Red Room Training. All right. And for Ant-Man, 2, 3, 4. He's going to discard his gauntlets and draw into Followed, Lay Down the Law, Agent Coulson, Under Surveillance. All right. These things seem all right. So, we get 3 threat on the main scheme. Putting it at 12. Then we get a side scheme, Hydra Reinforcements. 4 threat. When defeated, the player who defeated this scheme discards a non-elite minion. The bad part now is we don't have any allies to block these attacks that are coming at us right now. Which is a shame. But, you know, what are you going to do? Alright, so Red Skull attacks Wasp. Base attack of 3. I think she's just going to take it. 5 damage. Down to 7. He's going to attack over here. Again, I think we're just going to take it. So base attack of 3. Just 3. 7 and 7 is what we got. Couple of encounter cards. Another Flame Soldier. We're just drowning in Flame Soldiers. And we got Master Plan, which is really bad. Puts 4 threat on every side scheme. That's one that you really want to like get discarded as a boost card or something in this particular scenario, because that makes it way harder to get rid of these. But, you know, again, what are you going to do? This comes over here. And what do we got? What we've got is 1 damage to Red Skull. So thwart for 3, 7. Yeah, okay. We're gonna thwart for 3. Take 3 off of this. That's not how math works. Leaves 3 on there. No, hold on. It had 7. And we removed 3. Why is my brain not math? Okay, leaves 4. There we go. That's how math works. Then, we're going to flip up to Giant form. Dealing 1 damage. Taking Red Skull down to 9. We're going to play, before we flip, we're going to play Followed on that. And then we're going to play Lay Down the Law after we flip to remove 4 threat from this. Followed kills this Flame Soldier. And each player shuffles up to 3 cards in their discard pile back into their deck. Ironheart is great. Pim Particles, sure. And we'll get Quake. Cheap allies for blocks is what we got going on, basically. And okay, now we're over to Wasp. Wasp is gonna, first off, Avengers Mansion, draw a card. Then she's gonna thwart and pay 1 to play Rapid Growth to flip to her giant form and add 2 to the base value. So that's thwarting for 4. Yeah, we'll thwart for 4 off of this. Get out from under these stupid side schemes. Then I guess we'll get Brawn out. 1, 2, 3. Heals us for 2 using Pim Particles in giant form. We're going to play Brawn. Brawn is going to attack for 1. Also removes 1 threat from a scheme. We'll remove it from this. And I think that's all we got. Okay, so draw some cards. Helmet, Pinpoint Strike, Biosynthetic Wings. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay. We We got Ironheart, lay down the law. All right. We can deal with these things. Okay. So we get 3 threat on the main scheme. So that's 9, 10. It's at 15 out of 16. That's fine. It's a totally fine amount of threat. No problem. Yeah, Red Skull is, I mean, he's the boss. He's rough for sure. Like, you got to stay on top of these side schemes, or else if you get buried in those, like, it's all over basically. Speaking of which, we get that's not a side scheme, so that should not be in there. We shuffle that into the regular deck and get a side scheme out. Oh, speaking of which, I'll fix that in a second. Okay. Prison camps. Starts with 6 threat. When defeated, the player who defeated the scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and shuffles their deck. All right. And these side schemes. Oh wow! I guess I've only discarded 1. Huh? They go into their own discard pile, so you can reshuffle that when it gets to the end. Okay. Red Skull attacks over here. I think. Does Ant-Man just take it? I mean, it could leave him at 1 hit point, which would be not ideal. I don't know if Red Skull blocks, or I don't know if Ant-Man blocks or what, because I want him to thwart this coming up turn, you know. That's what he wants to do. He's not drawing any of his setup cards. That's kind of the issue that we're running into here, you know. So lay down the law, Ironheart. Yeah, I think he's just gonna take it to the face. Actually, you know what? I think Wasp will take it to the face. So 3, 4, 5. We block 3. She's down to 7. All right. Now Red Skull attacks her, and Brawn is going to block it. So it's 3, 4, 5. Okay. Not the worst. Get some counter cards. Hydra Jet Trooper. It's got Quick Strike, so it punches him for 2 when it comes out. And Twisted Reality. Insight 1. So that pops the main scheme. Great. Attached to a side scheme. When the attached side scheme is defeated, deal the first player an encounter card. All right. Put that there. Oh, speaking of which, we get an extra encounter card from that, which is a Hydra Exo Soldier with toughness. So that's all good. And this goes off. When revealed, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck and put it into play. Great, why not? Hydra Patrol. 4 threat. When defeated, we get minions. And this starts with 2 threat. It's got a threshold of 22. If it hits 22, we lose. So things aren't looking great, but we'll see if we can dig out from under it. What's Wasp got going on, I guess, is the question. Okay, if you're in giant form. All right. 1, 2. Oh, okay. So she's going to use Martial Prowess and this to play Wasp Sting. dealing 4 damage, divided however we want. Take the tough off of him and kill this jet trooper. Then she's going to draw a card. And 3, 2 damage to a minion. Yeah. She's gonna flip to tiny form. Whoop. Is she gonna flip to tiny form? Maybe she might actually. Oh, you know what? A thing that we forgot to do with her is shuffle 3 cards back into her deck. Probably wouldn't have mattered, but we are gonna do it now since I forgot about it before. Okay, so like we need to get out from under some stuff here. Things are going south on us. So like we need to get an ally out because like there's too many side schemes out here to be able to take hits at the level of damage that's coming out right now. So we're gonna play Valkyrie. Does 3 damage to a minion when she comes into play. Then she's going to attack and kill this guy. I think that's all we got for Wasp. So Ant-Man is going to pay 2 to play Ironheart. Draw a card. He's going to flip down to tiny form. Play Lay Down the Law. To remove, oh, you know what? All right, so hold on. Did that 2 damage to Red Skull instead because he's going to get to remove that minion for free anyway. So he plays Lay Down the Law to remove 4 threat. Remove it from this, which does get us each a minion. Presumably it's 2 Hydra regulars because they're like the weak ones, the weakest ones that we got, basically. Then we're gonna hold on. We're gonna thwart for 4 and remove this. That's what gets us the minions. Yeah, okay. And Army of Ants is going to put 1 damage on one of these guys, just cause, basically. And yep, that's what we got. We're actually going to do that 2 damage from her to this minion instead of Red Skull because that seems better. Alright. Draw some cards. So we got his helmet finally, and we got Skilled Investigator, which, like, we're killing side schemes like every turn, so we've been looking for that card. And not drawing it. Alright, so we got Combat Training, Helicarrier, Spider Girl. Alright. Ready everything up. 3 threat on the main scheme, up to 5. We get the Sleeper Awakened. Alright, so this one puts the Sleeper into play. It's got 10 hit points. It's got Guard, it's got Tough, and it's got Retaliate 1, and it does 3 damage when it attacks. Which is a shame, because it's going to attack right now. Which isn't great. Okay, so first off, Red Skull attacks over here. We're going to have Valkyrie block it for base 3, 4, and he becomes tough. Then the sleeper attacks for 3. Nothing we can really do about that one. Down to 7. Then Red Skull's going to attack over here. Ironheart's going to block this one. Base 3. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. All right. 3. If you are in hero form, the villain attacks you after this activation. Do not deal any boost cards for that attack. Jeez. Okay. So 3. That is a brutal boost card. So we take 2 from him, which we're going to block. And then we take 3 more from Red Skull, putting us down to 2 life. Yeesh. Yeesh. Now we get some counter cards, because things aren't bad enough. Hail Hydra. When revealed, each Hydra minion engaged with a hero makes an attack against that hero. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion, puts it into play, engaged with them. Okay, so the sleeper attacks over here, punches us down to 1 hit point. And Hydra regular attacks over here. Wasp is going to block this one because Ant-Man would die if she didn't. She blocks all the damage. And also, he found an exosuit because why not, you know? Okay, great. Things are cool. Things are cool for everyone involved. So we're going to play Skilled Investigator. We're going to pay 3 to play our helmet. We're going to do 1 damage to take this tough off of here. We're going to flip down to Scott Lang, which heals 1 hit point. And we're just going to have to hope that we don't get threaded out because, like, everyone got totally wrecked on that last turn. So we're going to have to, we have to flip down. There's no other choice. Okay, so we're going to use Avengers Mansion to draw a card. We are going to what are we going to do here? We're going to tap Martial Prowess and spend 2 cards to play Pinpoint Strike. Which does 7 damage. Leaves this guy with 3. We're going to pay 3 to get Tiger out. Yeah, I mean, Tiger's going to attack. So, this is not great. It's not great. I think, like, we got to push our luck here. So, Wasp is going to flip down to Tiny Form. Tiger's going to attack for 2. And her thing did 1 extra damage. So we kill the sleeper. And we get to do 1 damage to the Red Skull. I don't know that we're going to be able to dig out from under this one, but we're going to do what we can. So the sleeper goes away. He only can ever come out once, which is something at least. Like she needed to flip down. She could very, very easily die. but, you know, we had to get rid of that sleeper guy. In my humble opinion. So, ready everybody up. Where are all of Ant-Man's free allies? That's what I want to know. Like, he's got great stuff, and we're just not... We haven't seen any of it. We just haven't seen any of it. Okay. But... Got some skilled strikes. Got relentless assault. Got Wasp. Alright. Okay. 3 threats on the main scheme. Reveal this. Mass Chaos. When revealed, each player discards the top 5 cards of their deck and places 1 threat here for each different resource icon. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 from Ant-Man. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3 from Wasp. So it's at 7 total. Oof. Yeah, it's he's got us on the ropes. It's going to be a real miracle if we can get out from under this, basically. Ant-Man healed last turn, and I didn't do it, right? Did he heal last turn, or was he exhausted? I think he healed last turn. I don't know. If you remember differently, let me know. I think he flipped down and healed last turn. I don't know. That's what we're going with anyway. I'm not 100% sure, but... actually, no, I don't think he did. I think he was exhausted for whatever reason. We're going with that because that's the worst option for us, basically. Alright, so now we get some encounter cards. Red Skull's Luger. Attached to Red Skull. Red Skull's attacks gain piercing and ranged. So he schemes for 5. Oh, hold on. We weren't to encounter cards yet. He hasn't attacked yet. Okay, so he's going to scheme over here for 4. For 4. Okay. 12 out of 22 on the main scheme. And he's going to attack over here. Tiger's going to block it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Great job, Tiger. Okay. Now we get some encounter cards. Exo Soldier shows up. Oh, also, that guy schemes for 1. I would hate to not have that guy scheme for 1. Exo Soldier comes out with toughness and caught off guard. Discard an upgrade or support you control. Well, not great. Not great. Alright, first player comes over here. We draw a card. Hey, would you Hall of Heroes, the very last card in our deck? That's cool. Alright, so what are we doing? We're going to pay 2 to play... Ooh, hold on. This is a real shame. This hand is a real shame. Going to attack for 2. Kill this guy. Which does 1 damage to this guy. Taking him down to 7. I think before we do that, we're going to play Hall of Heroes just because. Get a marker on it. We're going to get Wasp out here with 1 hit point. She's going to flip down. Because, as it turns out, she is just going to die if she doesn't. And we need to really... We need to turn some kind of corner here, because this is going extremely poorly. So, we'll see if we can. She gets in a counter card for reshuffling her deck also. Alright, Scott Lang is going to heal for 3, putting him up to 6. Then flip to Tiny Form. Remove 1 threat from this. Draw a card from his helmet. Drew Electra, which is nice. We'll play Electra. Before we play Electra, we'll use Army of Ants to strip this tough. We'll pay 1 Fist when Electra comes out to have her do 3 damage. Then she'll attack again to kill this guy. We're going to play Skilled Investigator on Wasp's side. And, oh man. God, that's a shame. Everything's a shame. We're going to play 2 Clear the Areas. To take this down to 1. Before we do that, Wasp is going to thwart this for 1. Which kills Wasp, but it does let each of us draw a card. And Ant-Man gets to draw a card from Clear the Area. And then Ant-Man also gets to search his deck and discard paw for an ally and put it into play. So who do we got? Quake. I don't know about Quake. I think it might just be Nick Fury. But let's see. Yeah, it's just going to be Nick Fury. Nick Fury comes into play, which lets us what's Nick Fury going to do? Draw 3 cards, deal 4 damage, or remove 2 threat. I think he's going to let us draw 3 cards. All right, all right, all right. Okay, so Nick Fury thwarts for 2. This turn feels like it's helping. Then we're going to play White Tiger. We're going to use Pim Particles to 1, draw a card, and 2, remove 3 threat from this. Down to 2. Then White Tiger is going to thwart. Whoop. And kill this. And this is what we got. So Ant-Man's gonna flip up. No, he already flipped this turn. He's gonna play Resize to flip up to Giant Form, deal 1 damage. Then and also heal 2 from his helmet. Then he's going to play Swarm Tactics to change to his other form and ready his hero, which removes 1 threat from this. And then he lets him draw a card. Play Army of Ants. Army of Ants does 1 damage. And he thwarts for 3. Goodness gracious. Okay. That turn helped a lot. Okay. So, ready everybody back up. Okay. Yep. Ant-Man's getting an encounter card from reshuffling his deck. Whew. How'd y'all like that turn? I feel like that one went really well. Cleared the board a little bit. I was a little shook about what we had going on, but kind of feel like we've hold on. Kind of feel like we may have turned a corner there. Finding these free allies and getting Nick Fury out for free really helped. Helped a lot. All right. Okay. So, 2 threat on the main scheme. Putting it up to 11. Red Skull schemes over here for 3, 4, 5. Oh, before that, he gets a side scheme. Censor the Past. Which lets us shuffle cards back into our discard pile. Or back into our deck from our discard pile when we defeat it. Okay, now he schemes for 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he schemes for 5 plus. He schemes for 6. Totally fine amount. Not terrible at all. So it's at 17 total. So what we need to do now is just not draw advance for one of these encounter cards, because that loses the game for us. He attacks over here. Nick Fury's going to take it. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Get some encounter cards. And again, we need to not have scheme happen right now. Infinite power. When revealed, alter ego. Give Red Skull a tough status card. Red Skull schemes. Well, rip. He schemes for 3, 4, 5. Schemes for 5. Putting us at 22. Which is just enough for us to lose. Wink wonk. Oh, that's a shame. That last turn was so good. Alright, well. We're definitely going to run that one back. And see if we can do a little bit better on it. What do you say? It would be hard for the beginning to go worse. So, you know. We put in all that work. All that work for nothing. Oh, me. Okay. Give me 1 second here. It just, sort of the flow of the game is, you trying to get your board state set up while maintaining stuff, and then get out from under the bad stuff that builds up while you're trying to set up your board state, you know? And that one, like, Ant-Man didn't draw any of his setup cards. He just didn't draw any of them. Like, we drew some of his free allies finally at the end, but he didn't draw any. He didn't draw his plus thwart thing. He didn't draw Skilled Investigator. He didn't draw any copies of Followed. Like, everything that he was actually looking for was basically at the bottom of his deck. And he's our Justice player, so his job is to take care of these side schemes, and he just couldn't keep up with them, basically, because of the way his deck came out, you know? Like, we did what we could, and, like, again, if we hadn't lost on threat on that turn, I think we could have gotten out from under it, because he was about to thwart out, like, all of that, and get out from under it, you know? It's just a matter of whether we lost on that turn, basically, you know? Because, like, Wasp was doing a bunch of damage. Like, she was doing her part, you know? But our Justice game just didn't come together for us, you know? Is my personal post-mortem on it. And, like, Red Skull, again, Red Skull is just really, he's super hard. Even with your upgrades and stuff. Because, like, if the side schemes come out, well, especially if you're playing with worse modular sets with harder side schemes, like, if they come out in the wrong order, you can just, like, insta-lose, basically. Or, like, if that Master Plan card comes out and adds 4 threat to, like, 3 side schemes all at once, like, it can just basically say, oh, you lose. But we gave it a pretty good shot, you know, especially for how messed up the beginning of it was. But I feel like, hopefully, on the salty run back here, we can, excuse me, we can get a better jump on it. Because if Ant-Man can get set up to handle these side schemes as they come out, like, we can kind of paste this guy, you know? But, again, that's a big if. Okay. All right. Look at our opening hands in a second after we reset up the old jerk Red Skull here. So he starts with 5 threat from our 5 whatchamacallits, our 5 delay counters. And Ant-Man starts with 1 encounter card. But yeah, Sewer Dog, this villain is basically, this guy and the last guy are basically as hard as this game gets. Like, you can make it harder by what encounter sets you add into the villain deck. And you can make it harder by playing heroic mode, where you deal extra encounter cards each turn, but that's like super hard mode. But yeah, this guy is just, this is as hard as this game gets, basically. Okay, so 1 encounter card there. And then 1 encounter card each for Red Skull's Enter Play effect. And we start with the red house in play. It's got 6 threat on it. Oh, I'm salty over that loss, man. I gotta be real with you. That one rubbed a little salt on me. How many bosses are there in the campaign? There are 5. So the first time we played 4 games in last Monday, because we lost the first time against the first villain due to either some catastrophic bad luck or catastrophic misplays on my part. Who could know these things? But yeah, so it's 5 bosses basically. All right, so 32 hit points. And we're starting with 14 life over here. And 12 life over here. Everything is in camera, I believe. All right, so let's get our starting hands checked out here. Let's get into it. Lay down the law. Clear the area. All right, so that's 2, 6. Oh, okay, beautiful, beautiful. 1, 2, 3. All right, so normally, like, I would mulligan to try to get some setup cards and stuff, but like his opening hand kills the red house and does 4 damage to Red Skull, which, like, I think we just roll with that. What's Wasp got here? Pin Particles, Power of Aggression. Skilled Strike, Relentless Assault. All right. Well, no setup cards, but it's fine. Whatever. All right. And we are off to the races here. All right, so first off, Ant-Man flips to tiny form. Removes 1 threat from the main scheme. He's going to thwart for 3, leaving 1 threat on the main scheme. Before thwarting, he's going to play Lay Down the Law after you change form to remove... All right, hold on. So, he flips, removes 1 threat from this. plays Lay Down the Law, paying for it with not a mental resource because he doesn't have one. Removes 2 threat from this. Then he's going to play Followed on this. Then he's going to play Clear the Area to remove... There should have only been 2 left on there. I'm going to remember math eventually. That removes 2 threat from this. And deals 4 damage to an enemy. Down to 28. Get rid of that. And it lets him draw a card. Drew Skilled Investigator. Not too shabby. Thwart for 3. Take this down to 2. And yeah, Sewer Dog, the next campaign box expansion comes out in March, I think. And it's Guardians of the Galaxy themed. So the 2 heroes in it are going to be Rocket Raccoon and Groot. And then it's going to have like the Collector, I think, is one of the Collector, Ronin. I forget what the other villains are in it, but I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so Wasp is going to flip into tiny form. She's going to pay 3 to get Brawn out and draw a card. Then she's going to pay 3 to play Pinpoint Strike and do 8 damage. Down to 20. And draw a card. She's your Pinpoint Strike. Brawn is going to attack for 1, down to 19. After he attacks, it removes a threat from his scheme. And Wasp is going to thwart for 1. Remembering that we lost on threat last time. Even though it didn't happen in this universe, she remembers, like the multiverse or whatever. All right, so ready everything up. Draw some cards. So we got Heroic Intuition out early, and we got Skilled Investigator for Wasp also. So our setup is looking a little better this time. Do we want to keep Pinpoint Strike is the question. We will keep it because burst damage is always nice. She drew into Power of Aggression, Martial Prowess, Strength. All right. All seem good. Okay. So first off, 2 threat on the main scheme. Yeah, so there's 2 more Avengers heroes. February is Quicksilver, who hopefully will be here in time for my stream next Monday. He looks super fun. His hero's power is basically like readying over and over and over again. So you can use your basic attacks or your basic stats. And then he's got a bunch of cards that boost his basic stats. So as you ready over and over again, that you get more and more value out of him. He looks super fun. And then there's a Scarlet Witch coming out the month after that. And her whole thing is chaos magic, where her effects discard cards off of the encounter deck, and depending on what you discard, you get random effects and stuff, which looks fun. All right, we get a side scheme. The Sleeper Awakens. All right. Speaking of which, good thing we have Pinpoint Strike, bunch of burst damage, because this guy's here now. Okay, now Red Skull attacks over here. Brawn's gonna block it. So 2 damage, 3, 4 damage. Just enough to kill Brawn. That's unfortunate. Wouldn't have minded him sticking around one more turn. Then the sleeper punches him for 3. Then Red Skull attacks Wasp for 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a bunch of damage. Down to 7. Then we get some more encounter cards because we've got a million encounter cards already. Why not? 5 encounter cards seems like a totally fine amount. Hail Hydra. Each Hydra minion engaged with a hero makes an attack against that hero. So this guy attacks for 3, taking Ant-Man down to 8. Each player who was not attacked this way searches the encounter deck and discard pile for a Hydra minion and puts it into play engaged with them. All right, so we're going to find the... where is he? Hydra regular, because he's got the least hit points. And since we put him into play, his insight does not trigger. All right. So he shows up. 2 more encounter cards for Ant-Man. A Hydra Soldier. He's got Guard and Twisted Reality. Insight 1, attached to a side scheme. So it puts 1 on the main scheme. There's only 1 side scheme, so it attaches to this. When this side scheme goes away, the first player is dealt an encounter card. Power Gauntlets. After the attached villain attacks and damages you, discard 1 card from your hand. And Bitter Rival. When revealed, exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Well, yoink. It's not great, but it's not the worst. All right. What's Wasp got going on? Step 1, she plays Martial Prowess for sure. Then she taps Martial Prowess and plays Pinpoint Strike, I guess. Does 8 damage. And has Overkill. So, okay, so hold on. So we need to figure out if we can get rid of the sleeper this turn, basically. And it doesn't really look like we can, so that's a shame. Yeah, alright, so we're going to play Pinpoint Strike. It does 8 damage and has Overkill, so we can kill... I think we're going to kill this Hydra Soldier. Which deals an encounter card to Ant-Man and does 4 damage to Red Skull. And that's all she's got, unfortunately. I think maybe she flips down to try to avoid getting pummeled. And having to discard cards from that, basically. I don't know if that's the right move, but it is certainly what we have done. And she's got another Pinpoint Strike in hand, so we should be able to hopefully take care of the sleeper next turn. Alright, so Ant-Man plays Skilled Investigator on Wasp. Plays Ironheart, which lets him draw a card. Ironheart attacks for 1 here. Gets rid of that tough. And We're going to play Heroic Intuition. And then Ant-Man's going to thwart for 3. All right. He actually thwarts for 2, 3, 4, but there was only 3 there. So, alrighty. Draw some cards. Ant-Man's got Giant Stomp, followed, Lay Down the Law. Alright, so I mean, Giant Stomp can kill the sleeper, probably. Alright, not the worst. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What's Wasp draw into? Rapid Growth, Red Room Training, Team Building Exercise, Helicarrier. Rapid Growth. Yeah, okay. Not too bad. Alright. 2 threats on the main scheme. And Mass Chaos. So we each discard the top 5 cards of our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And put 1 threat on the main scheme for each different icon there. So only 2 from Ant-Man, which is pretty good. And one, 2, 3 for what's her name? 3 for Wasp. So 5 total. Not the worst. Not the worst, but not the best. Okay, so right now other stuff happens. Red Skull schemes over here for 3 for 3 up to 5, and Red Skull attacks over here. Ironheart's gonna block it. It's 1, 2, 3 total. And then the sleeper attacks him for 3, putting him down to 5. Now we get some counter cards. Oh, this guy schemes for 1 more also. Alright. Another Hydra regular. I remember those guys. So this time his Insight does go off. And also, when revealed, exhaust your identity card, and it's got Surge. I mean, that's not great. Oh, Shadows of the Past. Also not great. Okay, so Yellow Jacket shows up. Tech Theft shows up. And these get shuffled into the deck. Tech Theft says, treat the printed text box of each tech player card as if it were blank. No one's got any tech currently. And Yellow Jacket says, while you're in giant hero form, Yellow Jacket gains the giant trait and retaliate 1. While you're in tiny hero form, Yellow Jacket gains the tiny trait and +1 attack. Alright. Alright. Who doesn't love a good Shadows of the Past? And also, a Hydra Jet Trooper shows up, just for good measure, to punch us down to 3. So, cool. All of that's cool. Alright. This comes over here. Things are worse than they were before. Not gonna lie. So step 1 is what is step 1? Does anyone have any allies? That's one question we could ask. Mockingbird is certainly an ally. That's not bad. Like, I'd really like to play Followed before killing one of these side schemes, you know? And I would also really like to be in giant form to heal 2 when I play this Pim Particles. But I don't know if those things are going to be able to happen. So first off, we're going to flip to giant form. Deal 1 damage to somebody. We might revisit who that 1 damage triggers onto. We're going to play Lay Down the Law, healing us for 2, and removing 4 threat from a scheme. Letting us each draw a card. Drew another followed. And drew a drop kick on Wasp's side. Alright, now we're going to pay 3 to play Giant Stomp, which does 1 damage to each minion. So 1, 1, 1. 1, 1, and then 8 damage to something. We're going to do it to the Sleeper to kill him. Get out of here, Sleeper. That deals an encounter card to Ant-Man. We've got followed left in hand. I don't think we can do anything with it. So, this is gone. Over to Wasp. Wasp is going to shuffle Wasp Ally and Genius back in her deck using her girl power. And then what's she going to do? She's going to flip to tiny form. She's going to attack. And she's going to spend 1 to play Rapid Growth to switch to giant form and add 2 to her attack. So she's attacking for 5, and she can split it up however she wants. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it kills these 2 guys, kills this guy, and puts 1 more damage on there. We're actually going to kill this guy instead, so we don't take 1 retaliate damage. Alright, then, what else we got? Then we're going to pay 1, 2, 3 to get Mockingbird out. Mockingbird is going to thwart for 1. And stun the Red Skull. And I believe that's all we got. So, everybody ready's up. Okay. Lay Down the Law, Jessica Jones, Nick Fury. Alright. And let's see what we get for Wasp. Wasp Ally, Genius, Wasp Sting. Alright. Not too shabby. Yep, okay. 2 threat on the main scheme. It's at 9 out of 12. We get a side scheme. Hydra Patrol, which is going to get us Hydra minions in play when it goes away. Red Skull attacks over here, but instead becomes unstunned. That guy attacks for 2, putting us down to 3. Red Skull attacks over here. Mockingbird's going to block. Base 3, 4 damage. Get some encounter cards. Size increase. Attach the yellow jacket if able. If you cannot, attach to the villain. Alright. It's got 3 uses. And it gives them +2/+2 for each use. So, great. Why not? Whoop, come on. And Bitter Rival. When revealed, exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Well, great. Really needed that to not happen. This also happens. Master Plan. Place 4 threat on each side scheme. Well, that just went bad. That card in this scenario is savage. Alright. This comes over here. And let's see what we got. First off, we're going to play Wasp out with 2 life. She's going to attack and kill this Jet Trooper. We're going to play Pinpoint Strike, do 7 damage. Down to 8. And I think Wasp is going to thwart for 2 off of, one of these. I guess it doesn't super matter. All right. Then Ant-Man is going to flip to tiny form, remove 1 threat off of this, pay 1 to play Lay Down the Law, remove 4 off of this. And then get, no, hold on. Hold on. So, he gets a +2 for each attack. So, like, I think we need to get an ally out here to take a hit for us. She can thwart for 3, which, isn't the worst. But this way we don't take any giant punches to the face, And we'll just have to deal with these side schemes next turn, I guess. There's always next turn, sure. Okay, so everyone's going to ready up. Yeah, okay. Oof. What do we got? Skilled Strike, Tigra, Pinpoint Strike, Brawn. All right. Okay, 3 threat on, or 2 threat on the main scheme rather. This comes out. Censor the Past. Starts with 6. No problem. No problem. This is a totally fine amount of side schemes. A totally fine amount of side schemes. Everything's going fine. Red Skull attacks over here. Base 6. Wasp is going to attack. Or Wasp is going to block. 8 damage. Lose one of these. Red Skull is going to attack over here. Jessica Jones is going to block. 8 damage again. Whoop. Hopefully we can get 2 more allies out. Because if not, things are going to go bad. Okay. Some encounter cards. Assault. When revealed, the villain attacks you. Cool. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're going to block. 6 damage coming in. We block 3 of it, so we take 3. Down to 4 health. Woof. And over here, get an exosuit. Fine, great. I mean, why not? We'll just give him all the stats in the whole world. We'll just give him all the possible upgrades you could ever get, and that'll be fine. He's got a couple of guns in there too, and like some more stuff. Like we just need to find those and put them all on there. All right. So, more than anything else, we need to play Mockingbird. She stuns Red Skull. Like, we're in damage mitigation mode here. And we've got 4 thwart, 5 thwart plus, including Mockingbird. So we're going to thwart for yeah, we're going to thwart this mass chaos out of here and thwart 1 off of sense. We'll thwart 1 off of Censor the Past. Like, there's no way we can stop this from going off, basically. So we're going to thwart 1 off of that. We each get to draw a card. Hall of Heroes and resize. Mockingbird's gonna... Mockingbird already thwarted 1. Alright. Yeah. Ugh. I think Ant-Man's got to flip down. Shields him for 1. But I don't think there's a... Before we do that, we're going to play Resize to flip to giant form and do 1 damage. Because why not? Then we'll flip down and heal 1. Alright, let's see what Wasp has going on. Nothing that says thwart, so that's not great, I guess. She could... Nope, she doesn't have the right resources to do that, so... 1, 2... Play that. Unfortunate. So she's going to play Brawn, and she's going to use Martial Prowess to play Wasp Sting, which does 4 damage. Down to 3. Brawn is going to attack for 1, which removes 1 threat from a thing. And that is it, basically. Oof. Woof. Alright, well, we found our helmet right at the bottom of the deck, which seems to be a theme. We found one of our free allies, finally, also. We've got 3 of them. Apparently drawing them isn't what we're about, but, you know, that's fine. Okay, so 3 threat on the main scheme. Puts it over the limit. This says, when revealed, reveal the top card of the side scheme deck. No problem. Hydra reinforcements. No problem. We also then get one of these because we didn't have enough in play. It's fine. All right. Cool. Red Skull schemes over here. He's got a base scheme of 3 plus 2 from that thing, so 5, 6, 7. That's fine. That's a totally fine amount to scheme for. And things are looking a little rough for us again, but you know, that's fine. This thing goes away finally. He attacks over here, but instead becomes unstunned. Get some encounter cards. Hydra Flame Soldier and Hydra Exo Soldier with Tough. Alright. This comes over here. What do we got? Ooh, actually. 1, 2. Alright, so Brawn is going to attack. Put 1 damage on that guy, I guess. Removing 1 threat. Wasp is going to thwart for 2. We're going to bring Valkyrie into play. Which does 3 damage to a minion. Kills this guy. Valkyrie is going to thwart for 1, getting rid of this, which lets us discard a minion. We're going to discard that guy. It also lets us each draw a card. And I forgot that we had flipped down because we needed to heal. That's fine. Who needs to heal? Certainly not me. We're going to play Swarm Tactics to flip down to Tiny form. And we can now attack or thwart for 1. We're going to thwart for 1 off of this. Alright. Ant-Man has got to put some work in here. We've got a lot of side schemes. Deal 3 damage. Okay. So what does he do when you go into... So we get an encounter card when we flip to his next form. Alright, so I feel like we've got to get our helmet out, basically. I don't know what else needs to happen here. So we're going to flip to tiny form. Before we flip to tiny form, we're going to pay 3 to get our helmet out, which lets us draw a card. Alright, so now we're going to play White Tiger and Electra. Paying these. This lets us draw a card. And this removes 3 threat from a scheme, and this does 3 damage to an enemy. We're going to remove 3 threat from this scheme. No, we'll remove 3 threat from this. No, we'll remove 3 threat from this. Leaving 3 threat on it. We also do 3 damage to an enemy, which kills Red Skull. So now he's got 40 life. We each get an encounter card. And we are going to thwart for 1, thwart for 4, thwart for 1. To get rid of this. No, hold on. So, we thwart for 3 to get rid of this. The player who defeated this scheme searches their deck and discard pile for an ally, puts it into play, and then shuffles their deck. Okay. So, we're going to find old Nick Fury, get him out here. Oh, but... Okay. Hold on. Okay. So this had 3 on it. We don't want to do that yet because you can only have 3 allies at once. So what we're going to do instead is thwart for 5 and kill this. We'll kill that one next turn. Because we're definitely going to block some attacks here with some of these guys. That gets us each a Hydra minion, which, you know, isn't great, but what are you going to do? We're going to get these little Hydra regulars. That goes away. Ant-Man still hasn't done anything yet. So, I mean, he can thwart for 4. or he could heal for 3 before he flips up. But I think he's just going to thwart 4 off of this. And call it a day. Oof. This one is this one's going places. Alright, so we get an encounter card for shuffling Ant-Man's deck. Put this guy over here. Whew, okay. Can we turn the corner here? I feel like well, we're putting in work on it anyway. We'll see. We'll see if we can get there. Okay. And also an encounter card for Wasp for shuffling her deck, because who doesn't love who doesn't love encounter cards, you know? Oh boy. All right. Wasp drew rapid growth. All right. It's not too shabby. All right. Ready everybody up. And shuffle up these. Two threat on the main scheme. Puts it up to 9. 9 out of 22. Then we get a side scheme. It's the red house. We can't hurt Red Skull while that is out there. Starts with 6. Red Skull attacks over here. Valkyrie's going to block it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he becomes tough. Red Skull's going to attack over here. Mockingbird's going to block it for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a totally fine amount of damage. It certainly doesn't bode poorly for what happens to us when we fail to block an attack or anything. Also, these 2 Hydra regulars are going to attack. Brawn's going to block 1. He's got 2 health left. And we'll have Electra block the other one. It's fine. Totally fine. Okay. Whew, need a drink of water here. Now, we see if we lose when we draw 3 encounter cards each. The villain schemes. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Putting him up to 16. 16 out of the required 22 for us to lose. Hydra Jet Trooper shows up. Does 2 damage to us, down to 2 health. Master Strategist. When Red Skull activates, give him an additional boost card for each side scheme in play, then discard this card. Alright, cool. Cool. Place 2 threat on each scheme in play. I mean, that's not great. Red Skull's Luger. Cool. Great. More upgrades. Yellow Jacket's plan. Discard cards from the encounter deck until a card from the Ant-Man Nemesis set is discarded. Reveal that card. Alright. Looking for an Ant-Man card here. There's one. +2/+2. Why not? Red Skull said, I punch for infinity damage now. Oh, me. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. No problem. This comes over here. And something needs to happen here. Certainly. But what? We're going to play Quake. We're going to play Under Surveillance, which increases the threat threshold by 4. So now we need 26 to lose. We're going to thwart for 4. Off of 3, 4. We're going to thwart for 4. Off of prison camps. Quake is going to attack for 2. Kill this Hydra regular. Actually, Quake is going to thwart for 1 off of prison camps, which lets Ant-Man put an ally into play and find Nick Fury. Do the thing that we were going to do last turn. Get Nick Fury out here. Nick Fury comes in and does 2 damage to an enemy. 4 damage to an enemy, rather. It's going to kill this guy. He's going to thwart for 2. White Tiger's going to thwart for 3. Kill Censor the Past. Which lets us each shuffle some cards back into our deck. Let me see. We also each got to draw a card from Killing Side Schemes, okay? That is everything Ant-Man's got. Let's see what Wasp has got. More than anything else, I think the answer currently is just we have to have side schemes, or we have to have what am I trying to say? We have to have allies in play, because this is like one hit kills anybody at this point. So Oh, we got guys over here, huh? All right, so we're gonna flip to giant form. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Wow. Okay. Flip to giant form. Play Valkyrie for 3. She does 3 damage to someone when she comes in, kills that guy. She attacks for 2, kills that guy. And we're going to attack for 3. We're going to use 2 skilled strikes to bump it up to 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, 7. That lets us take 7 threat off of this because you can use your attack when you thwart that. And that is it. Okay. Ant-Man's got clear the area, resize, energy, Agent Coulson. All right. Wasp has got Wasp ally, skilled strike, Wasp sting, pinpoint strike. All right. Okay. 2 threat on the main scheme, putting us at 20 out of 26. No problem. A totally fine amount. We get a side scheme. Hydra Patrol, which is a shame because it's got a crisis icon on it, which means we can't thwart the main scheme until this is dealt with. Red Skull attacks over here for infinity damage. Nick Fury blocks it. Yeah, so it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so he gets 2 extra boost cards also. So plus another boost card. So we get an acceleration token. And let's see what the grand total that Nick Fury is absorbing for us here is. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 damage. A totally fine amount of damage. Not scary at all. Red Skull attacks over here. Valkyrie's going to block this one. Master Strategist is gone now. 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Only 9. No problem. Lose another one of these. Alright, get some encounter cards. Hydra Exo Soldier. And Assault. Cool, great. Braun's going to block this one. Actually, Quake's going to block this one. Whole bunch of damage. Not going to bother to count it up. Size increase goes away. Alrighty. Alrighty. First player comes over here. let's see what we can do. My personal guess is not enough, but, you know, we'll try. We're going to pay 1 to get Wasp out here with 1 hit point. We're going to attack. Actually, she's got a thwart to get rid of this. And she can split her thwart up. So it's 2, so she takes 1 off of this also. We each get to draw a card. All right. So Brawn attacks, takes 1 off of here, and 1 off of here. Use martial prowess, pay 1 to play Relentless Assault, which kills this guy. And I think that's it for her. So let's see what Ant-Man's got going on. Step 1 for our buddy Ant-Man is to play Clear the Area, remove 2 thwart. It is the last 2 thwart, or last 2 threat, so he draws a card. Flips up to giant size, removes 1 threat, or sorry, does 1 damage. Plays Lay Down the Law to remove 4 threat from that. Play Resize to flip back down to tiny form, removing 1 threat from this and drawing a card. Pay 3. Oh, hold on. When we flipped up to giant form, we heal 2. When we flip back down, we draw a card. Okay. Forgot we finally found his helmet. Right, and I played Coulson, which gets us a preparation. Oh boy. I don't know, man. This one is spicy. It's spicy. We're going to thwart for 4. Take it off of that. We'll get our wrist gauntlets out here just because we've drew them. We're going to thwart for 2. Down to 9 on the main scheme. Yeah, down to 9 on the main scheme. And yeah, okay. Ready everybody up. Draw some cards. Two giant stomps, huh? I mean, you would love to see that happen, but all right. So 3 threat on the main scheme. Putting us at 12 out of 26. We get a side scheme. Mass Chaos. Discard 5 cards. We got 1, 2, 3 different icons for Ant-Man. And 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow, 2 health, huh? 1, 2, 3, 4 different icons for Wasp. Red Skull attacks over here. Wasp is going to block it. It's 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. Red Skull attacks over here. White Tiger is going to block this one. So it's 2, 3, 4, 5. Give the villain a tough status card and another boost card. 6, 7, 8. I gotta keep getting tough, though. Oh, that's not where that goes. Get some counter cards. Shadows of the Past. Great. Things weren't going bad enough. Beetle shows up. Mother's Orders shows up. All right. Beetle has guard, and when you defeat Beetle, you either have to spend a fist resource or shuffle Beetle back into the encounter deck. So they're not super hard, but they are just annoying and show up a lot. Mother's Orders says, as an additional cost for each hero to make a basic attack, that hero must spend 1 of any resource. So that one is annoying. All right, cool. Shadows of the Past, great. Who doesn't love Shadows of the Past? And over here we've got Tech Theft. Great. Says, treat the printed text box of each tech upgrade as if it were blank. So basically that means our helmet doesn't work, which is a shame. Come over here. We're going to thwart for 4. Take it off of that. Get rid of this. Everybody draws a card. And what do we got? We got Lay Down the Law. So we're going to flip to Giant form. Does 1 damage to take this tough off of here. Before we flip, we're going to pay 1 to play Followed on that. After we flip, we're going to pay 1. So hold on. When we flip, we heal 2 life. Can't forget that. Up to 8. After you change form, remove 3 threat from a scheme or 4 threat. That's a real shame. Maybe we'll put Followed there. We're gonna play Lay Down the Law. Oh, hold on. Did he? Right. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Lost my train of thought. All right. So the question now is, do we want to play Lay Down the Law? Or do we want to play Giant Stomp? Can Wasp thwart currently? That's a good question. She can thwart to get rid of that. So maybe she does that. Okay, so we're not going to play Lay Down the Law. Instead, we're going to pay 3 and play Giant Stomp, which does 1 damage to this guy and 8 damage to Red Skull, taking him down to 32. And Agent Coulson is going to thwart for 2. Yep, he's going to thwart for 2. Okay, come over to Wasp. Wasp is going to pay 1 to play Rapid Growth and thwart for 2, 3, 4. And she can divide it up however she wants. So she's going to do 2 here and 2 here. It's going to trigger Followed, which does 4 damage to Red Skull, taking him down to 28. Then she's going to flip to Tiny Form, use Martial Prowess and Strength. Nope, Martial Prowess and Pim Particles to play Pinpoint Strike, which does 8 damage and has Overkill. So we kill Beetle, who gets shuffled back into the encounter deck, and it does 5 damage to Red Skull, taking him down to 23. Oh, can we pull it out here? Oh, this is gone. All right, Beetle is lurking for us once again. Then we're going to play Wasp's Sting using Strength, which does 5 damage, taking Red Skull down to 18. All right. Ready everybody up. She's in Tiny Form, not whatever that other form is. Okay. Got Giant Stomp for Ant-Man. And what do we got for Wasp? Tigra, Mockingbird. All right. So 3 threat on the main scheme, taking it up to 15. Get a side scheme. Side scheme says, when defeated, the player who defeats this can discard a minion. Red Skull attacks over here. Coulson blocks it. Blocks a whole bunch of damage. Red Skull attacks over here. Brawn blocks it. Brawn also attacked for 1 and removed 1 threat off of here. Now he blocks it. Okay. And he blocks a bunch of damage. There's Beetle again. Okay, get some encounter cards. Bitter Rival. Exhaust a character you control for each side scheme in play. Well, not ideal. And the villain attacks you. She's only got 2 health, so I think that's it for her. Yeah, no way to get out from under that one. And I don't think Ant-Man's going to be able to do enough to kill on his next turn. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so... I mean, she's going to defend. 2, 3, 4. 4 damage. She blocks 2. But still takes 2. So she's dead. Alright. See what Ant-Man's got. Ant-Man plays Giant Stomp. Does 9 damage. Down to 8. Flips to Tiny Form. Draws a card. Quinn Carrier. Not useful. Does remove a threat from something. Draws 5 cards. All right. And I guess we'll see if we die right now. We get 2 threat on the main scheme. Shuffle these side schemes up. This one is coming down to it here. We need to do 8 damage next turn. And I think we can do it. We just need to not die right now, basically. Whoops. 6 damage on there. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're going to defend. 8, 9. We block 2 of it. So we take 7 and we're down to 1 health. See what our encounter card is. Beetlemania. Beetle attacks you with +1. If no attack was made this way, this card gains Surge. Alright. A Hydra Flame Soldier shows up. 1 health. 1 health. Whew. Okay, so we pay 2. We get Ironheart into play. Draw a card. We play... Whoop, hold on. Sorry, let me think through what I'm actually doing here. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's what we do. All right, Ironheart, we love you. You're not on the team. We're going to play Electra. We're going to spend a Fist resource to do 3 damage. Down to 5. We're going to play Moon Knight. Spend a wild resource to draw 2 cards. And hey, look at this. We drew Genius, which means Ironheart was on the team all along. And then we do 3, 5, 6 damage. Taking him down to 0. Good night. 1 health left. Wasp got KO'd. That was a spicy fight. Whew. Yeah, I didn't think we were going to pull that one out, to be honest. But drawing these free allies on that last turn got it for us, basically. Because especially after we had to exhaust him going into that last turn, I thought that was it. Whew, boy. Yeah, Moon Knight and Electra came out for especially that 3 extra damage from Electra coming into play. Definitely, I mean that's what got it for us. Like, we don't live another turn if we don't get him that turn, basically. So that was expert Red Skull. You can see he's a real jerk. And the funny part is that is, if you put the Legions of Hydra side modular set in there, it's so much harder, and it already is hard. But that, when I want to play like super hard mode, that's generally what I put in there. But yeah, I really enjoyed the games tonight, y'all. Thanks a lot for hanging out. Hopefully you enjoyed watching me get stomped into the dirt by Red Skull. So yeah, I'm going to call it there. And thanks a lot, as always, for hanging out. It was a lot of fun. And hopefully see y'all next time. I think this coming up Wednesday, I'm going to play Dungeon Quest and Chainsaw Warrior, which are 2 Games Workshop games from the 80s. Super random and brutal. Friday, I'm going to play Bloodborne, which is a really cool dungeon crawler with like awesome minis and stuff. And then Monday, some more Marvel Champions. I don't know what we're going to do now that we finished the campaign here. If Quicksilver comes in time, I'm definitely going to play him because I think he looks really fun. But if not, we'll make up some decks. We'll fight some dudes. I don't know. See what we feel like doing. But still coming down off of that the ending of that one. But yeah, we're gonna go on a little raid here. But again, thanks as always for hanging out, you guys, and hopefully see y'all again soon. We'll do it all again.